titles for I want to add my subtopics. The first slide doesn't really have a subtopic because it's going to be my title slide. I'm going to click to place my cursor immediately after selecting a destination. If I press enter, I get a slide number 3, which is not what I want. What I want to do is demote this item. There's 2 ways that I can demote this item so that it becomes a subtopic. I can click right here on the demote button, or I can hit the tab key on my keyboard. Either one will demote the item so that it becomes a subtopic. Now I can type in the subtopic. What's your idea of a good time? Notice that we can see in our slide miniature what our slide is going to look like. I'm going to press enter, and I automatically get a subtopic at the same level. Now let's say that I want a subtopic of what's your idea of a good time. Again, I can hit my tab key, or I can demote. I demoted, and I'm now ready to put in a subtopic of the what's your idea of a good time subtopic. I can put in lots of action, or a nice rest on a calm beach. So I've entered a couple of subtopics of what's your idea of a good time. I now want to enter another subtopic of selecting a destination. So I can press enter right now. I can now use Shift Tab to promote this item, or I can come up to the promote button on the toolbar. Click promote and put in the subtopic, do you need a rest? Now I want to enter some subtopics for deciding when to travel. Place my mouse pointer at the end of the line, press enter, and my tab key to demote this item. Put in the North Pole in the winter is no fun. Press enter, and I want a subtopic at the same level, so I put in don't travel without your spouse on your anniversary. And I could continue on adding all of the subtopics for this presentation. At any time, I can click anywhere within a subtopic, and I can promote it or demote it. I can actually move items up and down and change the order of the slides, and we'll be covering that in a little bit. Now that we've seen how we can enter topics and subtopics, let's see how we can edit the presentation text. To begin, I notice that I have an apostrophe right in here, and this shouldn't actually have an apostrophe. So I'm going to click and drag to select the apostrophe and tap my delete key. So I can click and drag over any text to delete that text. If I want to add to the end of this entry to say lots of action, things to do, I'm going to click at the end of the entry and type in things to do. If I want to change this T to a capital T, I can click and drag over the T to select it and type in the capital T. So I replaced the text. So just as you would edit in any word processor or any other application, I can backspace to delete the character to the left of the cursor, delete to delete the character to the right of the cursor. I can insert text wherever I'd like. And I could continue going through here, modifying text as I'd like. I can also move or delete entire entries. I can select this entire entry, a nice rest on a calm beach, and I can copy it by going up to the copy tool on the toolbar, selecting edit copy, or using Control-C on my keyboard. I'm going to copy it. I'm then going to paste it by pressing enter down here, tabbing in to demote, and then Control-V as in Victor, edit paste, or else click paste on the toolbar. If I want to delete that text, highlight it by clicking and dragging over it and tapping my delete key. If I want to delete the entire item, the subtopic, I can backspace right now and it will delete the entire item. If I want to move this text right here, I can select it, select cut from the toolbar, Edit, Cut, or Control X on my keyboard. Backspace out the entire subtopic. Click at the end of Do You Need a Rest? Tab in to demote, and edit, paste, or click paste or Control V. So I just moved that text. So we saw how we can move, copy, and delete text. If I want to undo my actions, my last action or any of the previous actions, right up here on the toolbar we have an undo paste because paste is the last thing that I did. If I click undo paste, it undoes the paste. Notice I can then, one at a time, undo the demote, undo typing, and undo typing again, and undo cut. So we actually get multiple levels of undo within PowerPoint 97, which is a very nice feature. And I can actually undo or I can redo. So redo, undo. So I get multiple levels of redo as well as multiple levels of undo. Very, very handy. Just click off to deselect this text and deselect the undo and redo options. A moment ago,